since you've been here, and if you watched the earlier episode I made for Viking.TV, then you'll know that this is a small village in central France near the Porch Regional Park, and a house that I found abandoned, had been empty for a number of years, that I've been slowly renovating whilst creating a new garden. Now, it's been restored using traditional techniques and materials, and the garden, although juvenile, is progressing along really nicely, which is really good. That said, it has just been Christmas, and I hope you had a wonderful Christmas wherever you were. And now all of our attention must surely be towards having a really good time with New Year and looking forward, not just as gardeners thinking about the optimism of the new year, but also everybody else who's doing all sorts of things and have plans and hopes and ambitions for a new year ahead of us. So, having been here for a little while, I've made a number of friends who I've invited to see in the new year with me in my home, and in that spirit I am throwing a New Year's party, and I'm going to be showing you some of the things I will be doing to make my home a real celebration of the year to come. I'm going to be making a buffet and using some skills of a friend of mine who's a much better cook than I am, who'll be showing me how to make a really simple finger food dish. I'm going to be showing you some really nice decorations for the table using materials from the garden, which is super easy to make. And I'm also going to be dressing the entrance of my house to really say that the past year is behind us and everything is about looking forward with optimism. So the first thing to do with all of that in mind is to think about the table for the buffet and the decorations that I'm going to be making. Now, with my New Year's party in mind, the next thing I want to do is share with you a really simple table decoration, which I love to make for these kinds of events. No New Year's party is complete without a buffet, and they're really the best way to entertain lots of people, because you don't want lots of plates and cutlery all over the place, which you have to wash up the next day. It's really boring. The best way is really good, simple finger food that you can pick up, move around with and mingle. And my little table decorations, which I'm going to show you, are the perfect accompaniment to make the table look super gorgeous. Now, it takes a few minutes to make and really sets the tone for the party. So let me show you how I'm going to make them. So this is the table decoration that I was just saying about. It's really easy to make. And if you're not hosting a New Year's Eve party, you can actually make one and take it as a bit of a gift, and the pot's completely reusable. I'm using some old terracotta pots, quite wide, not tall and shallow. The wider the better, because it keeps it nice and stable, and you need some really simple things to do this. So I'm using some crushed up newspaper to stuff into the bottom of the pot. Now, traditionally you might have used Oasis, but that isn't compostable, so it's not really very suitable. Pop that in nice and firm. And then on top of that, I'm using this dried moss. You can use natural moss, but I just think the variation is quite nice. And I want to pop that in so that there's a slight depression in the middle. And then once I've done that, I take a really firm pear, and this will last about a week, and core out the centre. Once I've cored out the centre, I can place that into my pot. Tidy up the moss a little bit, and then take a candle and basically use the pear as the support. Now, you can use any colour candle you like. I just happen to like using these gold ones, and that's basically it. So I'm going to put these here. I'm going to put all of my buffet food around it, and people coming to my New Year's Eve party, I hope, will really love this. Well, now I've finished with all of the table decorations, before I really start thinking about the entrance and the welcome, I need to think about what the party food's going to be, and I can't think of anybody better than my friend Gregory. Now, if you watch the original episode we made here in France, or if you go to watch it again, you'll see that Gregory is a fantastic ceramicist, but he's also a brilliant cook, and I can't think of anybody better who would be able to give me some really good recipes for my finger food for my New Year's Eve party. So let's go and see what he's doing and get some ideas. Hello.
Hello, Paul.
You haven't forgotten my New Year's Eve party, have you?
No, absolutely not.
Perfect. Well, I've come because I'm thinking about the buffet and finger food, and I wondered if you had any ideas of things I could serve.
Oh, of course. I was just making one.
Oh, perfect.
Right
What
now.
is it?
It's like a little triangle with phyllo past,
Perfect.
inspired from my grandmother's recipe. It's with carrots, feta cheese, cumin. It's the perfect finger. How do you call it? Finger
Food. Finger food.
Finger
Perfect
food.
finger food.
Yes, for this
Brilliant.
kind of event, it's perfect.
Okay, well, I'm going to stay and watch how you're making it then.
Okay, great. So first step, I'm chopping onions for the recipe because we need to cook them first with the carrots and the cumin. Would you mind grating those carrots for me? Thank you.
Thank you. So this is a recipe of your grandmother?
Well, it's how do you say, an interpretation.
Mhm.
It's inspired. Usually you do this recipe only with cheese, but I like vegetables, so why not putting carrot and cumin is very good and very famous combination. So it's a nice addition to the cheese.
Yeah.
It's a nice mix.
Because I should explain that although we are in France, you're not just French. Because this isn't a particularly French dish.
No, it's Armenian.
Ah,
So it's more like Middle Eastern inspired recipe.
oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I've nearly finished doing these. So what happens next?
I'm gonna just make them cook in a little bit of olive oil in a pan. Very gently. We don't want them to burn. So it's gonna take maybe 15 minutes. Gently low fire. Well, it's been 15 minutes. The carrots and the onion is ready already. And we need to let that mix cool down before mixing it with the cheese. You can do that a day before and store that in the fridge, for example, or in the morning for the evening.
Oh, so that is perfect for my New Year's Eve party because I don't need to do it straight away.
No, you just need to cool down now, and then I'm gonna use this feta cheese, a little how do you call it? Grated cheese, Emmental. And that's it basically.
And they get mixed into that mixture.
Yes, and this is going to be our mixing for our little triangle that I'm gonna make with those phyllo paste. So the mixing is cool. We can now put the feta cheese inside.
How much feta cheese is that roughly?
I don't know.
Okay.
You put the quantity you want to.
Oh, so it's whether you want it more cheesy or less
yes.
cheesy. Okay, fine.
But to my point of view, the more cheese there is, the more moist they are, and
Okay.
it's more interesting in even in the texture. So we just now grating the cheese. You can also add when it's the season, like fresh herbs, like coriander or
nice.
even parsley. Well, I don't have that for the moment here, but it's something that you can do. We can also put at that stage Emmental, grated Emmental cheese inside.
Perfect. So that is the filling for these triangles.
Yes, and it's basically finished. It's only that. Very easy, see? Well, now we're going to do the triangle.
How have you made this?
Yeah, it's a very complicated pass to do, pillow pass, because it's very thin. It's I think it's thinner like a paper sheet. It's very thin. You can do that with puff pastry, but I think it's too heavy. With that, it's better.
I guess also if you've got a party in mind or in a rush, this is a really nice, easy way to cheat a little bit.
It's not really cheating because you did most of the recipe yourself, so it's not really. See, it's a very.
Oh, they look amazing.
Yes, it's a very thin pastry. So what we are going to do now, it's cut that in half because we want little triangle.
Yeah.
Because you can do bigger triangle, but as you want like a finger.
It's better small.
Yes.
I mean, if you were making them for a picnic, a bigger one would be nice as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's less work too. So my bowl, yes. So we're just going to take some. I'm not going to do the whole.
So how many sheets of pastry goes into each triangle?
Only one.
Oh, one. Okay.
I'm gonna show you. There's a particular way to wrap them.
Okay.
So once you got the technique, it's very easy. First, we are going to just cut that in half.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use olive oil. And now the wrapping with what do you call it? A brush. So the idea is to put a little bit olive oil on the foil like this.
All over.
All over, more or less. And then you have to fold that filo pass in three.
In three.
Yes, to make like a nice
a ribbon, I guess.
Yes, a ribbon. And so I'm gonna just show you one.
Yes, yeah.
And then I'm gonna make them more. There's another way. So you take a little bit of the mixing here, not too much, otherwise it's going to
spill out.
Yes, during the cooking process.
That's almost a heaped teaspoon.
Yes, a teaspoon. And then you wrap that like little samosa
over itself.
Yes, like this.
Okay. Keep folding over, and you get a samosa shape.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, fantastic.
And once you arrive to the end,
cover that in oil and makes that stick.
Yes, like this. And
perfect.
It's finished. And you put them on your cooking tray like this. So we are going to fill all this tray and make the first batch
fantastic
directly. So this is the last one.
Well, it's not as easy as you've made it look, to be quite honest with you.
Well, it needs maybe a little practice.
I think so. But they do look delicious. Now, what happens next? They go into the oven?
Yes, that I already preheated. Around 180, 200 degrees. And that's it basically. It's quite quick. It's 10 minutes.
10 minutes in the oven?
Yes, 10, 15 minutes,
Okay.
depending on the size.
Perfect.
Since they're little.
And once
going to-
they're cooked, how many days do you have to eat them?
I think usually they don't last
No.
that long. So usually once it's cooked, you eat that in a minute. So
So a couple of days is best.
yes, I think 1 to 2 days maybe. But I never see those little triangles last more than 1 hour.
Okay.
To be frank.
Wow, brilliant! Thank you so much. Well, we'll put them in the oven and then see what they look like when they're cooked. Well, they look absolutely delicious. I'd quite like to try one now.
Well, I think you have to wait until your party.
I think so. But thank you very much. I'm going to let you bring those to the party. It's going to be tomorrow night. Now I really should go and finish my final preparations. Thank you.
Super. Looking forward to it.
So all that's left to do for this New Year party is to dress the porch here. And you'll notice from last time when we were here in France, which must have been a couple of years ago now, none of this existed. So the borders have really grown. And I've got this amazing structure, which is yet to be covered with plants. But for my party, what I'm planning to do is hang lots of little candle-lit stars and some other paper decorations, which will make it really festive and welcoming, but not festive in a Christmas way, because it is, after all, a New Year's party. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn a selection of these jars into candle holders, and really they're going to be really cute. What I'm going to do is make a wire round and then a hoop and suspend them from the canopy which is above me, and it's really simple and easy. I'm going to put a little bit of moss in the bottom that will stabilize the candle that's going to go in there, and then using some basic wire I'm going to make the hanging handle. So first of all, I just tie it round, making sure that it's tight to the rim of the pot, and then tuck under the other piece. And then connect those together. Just make sure they're nice and level, and that gives us the suspended pot, which the candle is going to go inside. So I'm going to get on with those first of all, and then show you the paper stars, which I'm also going to be making to suspend here above the archway. So I've made all my different candles, and now I'm going to hang them in the canopy above me at different heights using wire. It's really simple, and then I'm going to be making some paper stars to hang with them. So I'm going to get these up now. So I've just come back inside to make some little hanging stars, which I'm going to put out at the last minute just to go with all of those jump jars to make it feel really fun. Now these I've made out of some 1940s agricultural paper, but it's really easy to do. I'm just taking a rectangle of paper, folding it in halves quite thickly like a concertina, just put that back together. And then once I've done that, what I'm going to do is fold them in half in one direction, so it's halved that way, and then back on itself that way to make sure all the seams are really flexible. And once I've done that, I take a piece of string and just tie it around the middle. And once it's securely at that end, I do the same at the other to give me a kind of hanging loop. And then cut the excess off. Now, once I've done that, take the scissors and about 1/3 of the way up, cut through the seams on both ends. And that gives us the start. Now, if you want them to hang down like a spiral, leave that there. If you want them to hang upright, what you need to do is glue the hanger into one of the folds. Well, I'm going to have them hanging downwards so people look up. So I just put some glue down the seam, fold it on itself, and let that bit glue together. And once that side's dry, I'm going to glue down there, and then when they fold open, they will look like that. So just get on with the last of these and get back outside and hang them all up ready for the party.